I've had a lot of people contacting me by email and by comments on the videos that I've uploaded regarding this pro leveling system that I've been using. It's available online at a couple of stores, so you just do a Google search and you should be able to find it. But anyway, I recently uploaded a video showing how to use the pro leveling system to install a large format tile on a floor, and now I'm doing this one to show how to use the pro leveling system to install a large format tile on a wall. Now, it's always important to use a good quality thin set when installing tile. And with large format tile, you usually need a thicker bed under the tile than you would with a smaller tile. And sometimes it's a good idea to use a medium set mortar rather than a thin set mortar. In this case, what I'm doing is here is I'm using a 3/8 inch trowel, and I'm spreading the thin set on the wall, and then I'm going to also use the notch-sided trowel to put thin set on the back of the tile. This gives me a nice thick bed of mortar under the tile so that I can make the adjustments that I need on the tile. Now this is a 12 inch by 24 inch travertine tile. So it is a home finished, well, not home, actually it's not really a high polish, but it is kind of polished. And what this pro leveling system consists of is bases and knobs. There are three different kinds of bases: a straight, tees, and crosses. Because this is a running bar installation, I'm going to be using the straights and the tees. Now this is a straight base which you put between tiles where there's no corners, and this one here is a tee which you put in the corners between the tiles. And you're going to need, if you're going to use this system, you need both types. If you're going to be just doing a square grid, then you're going to need crosses. If you're doing a running barn, you're going to need tees, and you always need the straight ones where there are no corners. And then there are the knobs which you use to tighten the tiles down. I mean the bases, to screw onto the bases and bring the tiles into plane. Now, as I said, I'm going to be putting a nice, I'll put the thin set on the back of the tile as well to get a nice bed of mortar behind it. Now, on wall tile, it's not as critical to get 100% coverage as it is on floor tile, because it doesn't have the stress and the wear and tear that floor tile has. But it's still a good idea to get as good a coverage behind the tile as possible. Like I said, it's not as critical as on floor tile, but it's still important to get a good coverage. So as you saw, you put the your bases in as you're going along. The straight ones between the tiles where there's no joints, and these tees where there's a corner. And you want to get a couple of rows on, and then you can start tightening the tiles down. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm going to get a couple of rows of tile on, and it's also important to get the walls as flat as you can as you go along before you even start to tightening down the bases. These leveling systems are not to fix wavy or even floors or walls. The system is, like any system, is to try and reduce lippage as much as possible, and this pro leveling system actually works really good. Later on in this video I'll show you that there's absolutely no lippage between these 12 inch by 24 inch tiles, but you still need to do whatever prep is necessary to get the tile to sit flat. And like you can see here, sometimes you put the tile on, and you have to pull it off a couple of times to get the right amount of thin set behind it. And if the walls were perfectly flat, then you could just gauge your thin set and put the tiles on, and you'd be done. So once you've got a couple of rows on, it's time to get the knobs on. Now the wall, the tiles that you put on are reasonably flat. I mean, they're it's within tolerances. Now you're going to use these knobs to pull the tiles into plane. So you just go along and you put the knobs on, you screw them down, you tighten them up, and what that'll do is it'll bring the two tiles that the bases are between into plane. It acts like a vise and brings the tiles into plane so that they're perfectly aligned. And you don't want to tighten them too much, because if you really tighten these down, you'll just break the base. So you just gotta use your judgment and just feel your way through it. Now on these larger tiles, sometimes it's a good idea to put an extra base between the tiles on the short side, and I actually did this with this tile, as you see a little bit later on, and it really works really well and eliminates practically all the lippage. I was very pleased with this system. I've used it quite a few times, and it usually works pretty well. But like I said, it's not a cure-all for a bad floor or a wavy floor. You still need to do whatever prep work you need to do to get the wall as flat as possible. Process is basically what you see here. You get some tile on the wall, you make the adjustments that you need. If you need to pull a tile off to get it to come as close to it as in plane as possible, add some thin set behind it. You just keep on doing that, go back and forth, putting the bases in, and then once you get a row on, then you can start tightening down the knobs. And basically, just keep on going like that till your whole wall is done. And it's like I said, it's important to remember that these leveling systems are not a cure-all for uneven or wavy walls or floors. They just help with the last little bit of adjustment to get the tiles into plane. And so the process is, like I said, as you see here, get some tiles on, put your bases on as you go along, and then once you're comfortable that you've got enough tile on, you can start tightening down putting the bases, the knobs on, and tighten them down, and until you're completely done. So once you're done, this is what you should have. I'm dragging this knob across the joints to check for tiles that might be out of plane and perfectly in plane. No lippage at all. If you've done it properly, this is what you should have. Now set up overnight, and then you just get a rubber mallet and hit the knobs in the direction of the grout line, and they will break off below the grout line. Once in a while you get one or two that don't break off below the grout line, but you just get a utility knife and they come off pretty easily. You just gotta be careful. I found that if you hit them low on the knob close to the tile, they tend to break off more reliably. If you one or two you hit them a little bit too high, they'll break off properly. But it's really not a problem. That might be curious. This is the finished bathroom. 12 by 12 marble tile on the floor, river rock in the shower, 12 by 24 travertine in the shower area with a border consisting of 5 elements and recessed cabilloniche. And I used the Proleveling System for the large format tile in the shower and in the where the tub is going to go, but I didn't use it on the floor because they're only 12 by 12, so you really don't need it. So anyway, this is the finished bathroom for anyone that might be curious. And if you have any questions, just leave a comment and I'll try and answer it.